Hi there, I'm Mr. Mark. Going to be making a pumpkin diorama. Show you some things that you could use, and then I have one that I've made and I'm going to assemble it and I'm going to light it up and let's just see how that looks. First of all, of course, Halloween's coming up. It is my very favorite holiday, so we're going to be doing some Halloween crafts here on Fridays at different times. There'll be some things that you'll like, but we're going to start off with the pumpkin diorama. So what is a pumpkin diorama? So the diorama is a model that shows a scene using 3D figures, and that's what we're going to be doing. So with the pumpkin diorama, we're going to be doing it in a pumpkin. Now we're not using real pumpkins, but you can use a real pumpkin. The only thing with that is we want to do it like a few days before Halloween, because you're only going to have a few days before it would get moldy, but you can hollow out a real pumpkin and do that. We're going to be doing some a craft type pumpkin. I'm going to show you some different ones you could use, some that I didn't use that you could do. So very first, let me show you that. So this one is a paper mache pumpkin from the craft store, and I probably when I have time at home I will cut this out and I will try to do a diorama with this. This one right here, this is $1. It's from the Dollar Tree. It is made of foam. I have a whole one here, and I have one that I cut open because I wanted to see how big it is. So you got to do like a smaller scene in it, and probably with the stem, you see it's got a toothpick. I would probably cut that off and then hot glue the stem on. But I like that it's bright white, so you could color, you could paint it in with acrylic paints and make your background, and then put your scene in it just like that. Like I said, only $1 over the Dollar Tree. And then you're going to want some things to put in, some figures to put in. I have some various bugs here, brought cobwebs is something you could use. The spider, this is an assortment of spider and bat rings. I will be using some of the spider rings in my diorama. This also came from the dollar store. Neat things you can buy pretty cheap. If you have any other spooky things sitting around you can put in your diorama, you can do that. So let me show you what I did here. I got this craft pumpkin. I got this at the craft store, and this is called a carvable pumpkin. It's kind of like a hard foam, and I used my utility knife here, and I cut it open. Now this one it's a little bit, it's very solid, you can see. So I cut that piece out because to do my pumpkin diorama I need all that space in there. So I want it open so I'll be able to do my scene in there. So I cut it open, and you can see it's fairly plain in there. Now you can paint it, but I kind of liked it. I played around with the lights, and I kind of liked it as it was, so I didn't paint it. So let me show you what I'm going to put into my pumpkin diorama, and I'll do that, and then we're going to light it up. So we're going to need, pull this over here, we're going to need some craft moss, and I had some left from another craft. So let me stick this in. This is going to be our landscape in here. So it'll look like it's really outside. And the first piece I'm putting in there is a flat piece. Now I have all my bushy part. I'm going to put all that in there. Flatten it down a little bit. Try to make it look like it's really outside. I want to push it up to the front so that it fills up that whole space in there. And there we go. Now, my family helped me out with this. My wife made this spooky tree here. It's got a rock for a weight, and then she used black craft wire, and she kind of banded it all around to make all the branches make it look spooky. And we have a clay owl here, polymer clay that my wife made, and my son made this bat, and then we hooked them onto here so they won't come off, hooked it onto the wire, so we have our spooky tree. Now actually, before I put that in the very back, because we want to light this up, you can see how it's already starting to look a little bit dark in there. I have this strobe light. It's like a mini light. It kind of goes with multicolor change, and I'm going to put that towards the back because I want that to light up that tree a little bit. I'm going to put that in. And then I'm going to bend my tree so I can put it in here. I'm going to put it kind of towards the middle. Let me take a look. Yeah, that'll fit just like that. So now, also I have some tea lights. And I think since I have some space on both sides, I'm going to put one of these over here on the side of the owl. And I'm going to light this one up. And I'm going to put this one on the opposite side near the bat. So that's why it's lighting up both figures. Okay? Now it looks like we could use some spiders. So like I said, I got some spider rings here. And kind of like, even though we're not wearing them as rings, they got the little pinchers, because that way I can kind of hook them onto that moss. They'll poke in there. And so sometimes if you have figures, this one, like I said, the tree is weighted down, but some figures you might have something you want to poke it down into, like a popsicle stick, or you can use toothpicks. Let's see, let's put our other spider right there in the foreground. So we have it like this. You can see we have it set up. So now what we're going to do is we're going to turn off the lights, and that way you can see how it looks all lit up since we have the lights on, okay? Okay, and that was the pumpkin diorama. Showed you some different things that you can do, some very easy stuff you can get at the Dollar Tree, or just things you can make and different ideas, hopefully. And showed you the one I made. Hopefully you enjoy it. Hope we can have fun and make one and get it ready for Halloween as a decoration. Thank you so much for watching me today.